Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is Bill Olson, our trading anchor, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. We're going to get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are slipping this morning, with S&P futures down 1.02%, Dow futures down 0.85%, and Nasdaq futures down 1.51%. The market is trading lower this morning as concerns about faster inflation and COVID-19 flare-ups in some nations continues to stir pessimism. Treasuries and oil are also declining. Tech shares lead declines in Nasdaq, with Tesla slipping in pre-market after data showed a slowdown in China sales. Elsewhere in markets, yields on 10-year treasuries rose while the dollar has held near its lowest level this year. Oil dropped as a result of rising U.S. stockpiles and the possibility of more supply from Iran. Over in Europe, the Stock 600 index fell the most in a week, with commodity and leisure shares leading declines. And over in Asia, shares also slid. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
Listen, I'm watching the S&Ps all morning long, and yeah, they're weaker this morning. You know, the market is really focused on inflation concerns today. The key event is this FOMC meeting minutes that are going to be released today at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And there's likely not going to be any discussion towards any type of a change in interest rates being discussed. Maybe some, ideas of tampering from Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas, Robert Kaplan, but that's really about it. I mean, we saw some really nice earnings coming out this morning from Target and Lowe's, and the expectations are for the market to open up weak and display strength later in the day when the FOMC releases those meeting minute notes. A couple other items just to kind of note about is, those U.S.-Iranian talks that are going on. Apparently, they're pretty productive, which means sanctions could soon be lifted to create short-term weakness in oil prices. Looking over at China, and they're accusing the United States of threatening the peace and stability of the area because they put a U.S. warship sail through the sensitive waterways that separate Taiwan from China the other day. And the New York Attorney General is said to be investigating the Trump organization. It's now apparently a criminal probe. So the big takeaway today is, hey, you got multiple economic reports coming out today. You're expecting a weak opening followed by a bullish afternoon. So, but just keep an eye on the companies that are releasing earnings this morning, because these are the ones that are really going to show some strength later this afternoon.
Let's get right into earnings to watch. Bill, tell us what we're seeing today.
Well, last night I was watching TTWO, Tom, William, Oscar. This is Take Two Interactive. These guys beat by $1.21 last night on higher revenue, and they also raised guidance. It was a real positive earnings report for them. Lowe's, ticker LOW, Larry, Oscar, William, they beat by 59 cents on higher revenue this morning. And Target, TGT, Tom Grace Tom, we've been talking about this one all week. They just beat by $1.44 on higher revenue, and they expect second quarter earnings operating margins to be above Q2 of 19, but maybe not as high as 2020. So, we had a lot of good earnings report. You just got to keep your eyes on these things because these are the stocks that are going to have volatility today.
How about insights as far as upcoming earning announcements?
Good question. You got Cisco coming out this afternoon. That's ticker CSCO, Charlie Sam, Charlie Oscar. It's priced for a 4.25% move. They're coming out this afternoon. I was looking at the call put ratio. It's 2.10. That's a positive. And EPS estimate is 82 cents. Moving on to like some of the other stocks that are coming out, like L Brands. That's ticker LB, Larry Boy. They're priced for a 7.25% move when they release this afternoon. Call put ratio is a negative 0.53. They're expecting an EPS of $1.21. Remember, they're looking to spin off Victoria's Secret, so there's some risk there. Kohl's, ticker KSS, Kilo Sam Sam. They're expected to do an 8% move when they release Thursday morning. The call put ratio was really strong yesterday, 2.77. Now they're expected to make 4 cents. Yeah, that's a beatable number. PLCE, Paul, Larry, Charlie, Edward, that's Child's Place. They're priced for a 9.8% move when they release tomorrow morning. Call put ratio there was 5.50 to 1. really bullish. Their EPS estimate going into earnings is 1 cent, easy for them to beat. Ralph Lauren, on the other hand, that's ticker RL, Richard Larry. They're priced for a 6.3% move when they release earnings Thursday morning. Now, that call put ratio was really negative, highly negative. It was 0.05. Ralph Lauren is expected to lose 72 cents this quarter. So I've got to keep an eye on what goes on at Ralph Lauren tomorrow morning. There could be some problems, and the option market should be showing and indicating this. But that's what I see as far as earnings reports, Shane.
Moving into economic reports, Bill, can you tell us what we're seeing as far as reports today?
Well, the big one is at 10:30, we have the EIA oil stockpiles report. This is a big report. You're expecting, there's some additional stockpiles. Late yesterday, we had the API data from the American Petroleum Institute, but this is the official data. This is the data that everyone's going to be watching. The big one is at 2 o'clock, obviously. That's when the FOMC meeting minutes are going to be released. Those FOMC meeting minutes are going to be the key factor that's going to be driving the market all afternoon. So you really want to be paying attention to the market around 2 p.m. Eastern time. We got a little Fed speak, today at 10 a.m. We have the Fed's Vice Chair, Randall Quarles, speaking, as well as St. Louis Fed Bank President James Bullard.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with one on Tesla, ticker TSLA. Just as we had spoken about earlier, data from China Automotive Information Net showed that on April 11th, 949 China-built Tesla cars were registered in the country, which is a huge decrease from the record 34,715 Tesla vehicles that were registered in March. So this is really driving them lower today. Other news on Tesla. As we know, 3 days ago, they had dropped Bitcoin from an option as purchasing their products, purchasing their vehicles. However, the rumor today is that they've dropped their shares of Bitcoin as well, sold off. So that's also something that's causing a huge sell-off in the cryptocurrency market overall. Tesla share price is down 1.77% so far in pre-market. In other news, restaurant brand ticker QSR, Burger King, is launching a hand-breaded chicken sandwich called the Chick King. QSR share price is down 0.18% in pre-market. In other news, Ford Motor, ticker F, has unveiled a new electric F-150 pickup truck. Ford showed the pickup truck during a tour by President Joe Biden at the Rogue Electric Vehicle Center in Dearborn, Michigan, where the new model will be produced. Ford's share price is currently flat in pre-market. In other news, Apple, ticker AAPL, Apple will be launching a redesigned MacBook Pro this summer. Other news on Apple, the company's former marketing chief faced a grilling from Epic Games' attorney over a series of internal email among Apple executives that the attorney argued showed clear intent by Apple to rid application programming competition. So they're looking at a decline in their shares this morning. In other news, Bristol Myers, ticker BMY, has agreed to pay up to $1.2 billion to enter into a drug discovery collaboration with AI startup Exscientia. Last year, Exscientia became the first company to take a molecule designed by an AI and put it into human clinical trials. So it's a very interesting move for them. BMY's share price is down 0.69% in pre-market so far. But what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Well, Shane, I break my news alerts down into specific events. I'm looking for specific industries. I'm looking for specific events to really give me that jump start on the price action during the day. Today I'm looking at my FANG alert, and I see Amazon has indefinitely extended its ban on police use of face recognition technology. I see Google plans to spend several $1 billion to build a quantum computer by 2029. They want that quantum computer to be able to perform large-scale business and scientific calculations without errors. I see Google's also unveiled this Project Starline, which is a 3D video calling technology project. And lastly, Google's teaming up with Shopify. Apparently, they're going to be adding the shopping cart logo into the Chrome browser for their partnership. So they're going to be sharing some revenue and helping one another out. It's probably a big boost for both companies. I look at my Dow Jones 30 alert. I see This is Boeing. Lawmakers are apparently seeking records from Boeing and the FAA following some production issues for the 787 Dreamliner and the 737 MAX planes. JP Morgan, I see that they're shuffling their executive ranks in a move towards preparing for the eventual successor to Jamie Dimon. The board's asking Jamie Dimon to stay another 5 years, but that's not guaranteed that he will. I'm looking at the vol data in the big tech stocks because this is really where the action is. I see Amazon's, the May option implied volatility is at 29, June implied volatility is at 27. Compare that to the 52-week range of 24 to 64, and that's kind of low. You look at Google, it's kind of the same rate. The May option implied volatility is at 27, June is at 27, and the 52-week range is 21 to 49. Taking a quick check on Facebook, ticker FB, the May option implied volatility is at 31, June is at 29. Look at that 52-week range of 29 to 55. Again, another cheap one. A couple of events to keep your eye out on today. Foot Locker, ticker FL. They're doing their annual shareholders meeting today that's starting at 9 a.m. Eli Lilly at 11 a.m. This could be really interesting. They're doing their annual shareholders meeting at 11 a.m. That's ticker LLY. Beyond Meat, they're also having their shareholders meeting at 11 a.m. That's ticker BYND, Boy Yellow, Nancy David. And Southwest Airlines, that's ticker LUV, Larry Under Victor. They're doing their shareholders meeting at 11 a.m. today. In terms of like some guidance news, that Take-Two earnings report I told you about yesterday, they also said that they're expecting Q1 EPS to come in between $1 and $1.10. Now that's a big upgrade from the 88 cents estimate that the street was expecting. You know, you look at the Container Store, that's ticker TCS, Tom, Charlie, Sam. They're expecting Q1 estimates to be around 9 cents, which is a big upgrade as well, because the street was looking for them to be at 3 cents. But you know, these are the stories I have for you today, Shane.
Moving into our Trade Talk picks for today, I'm picking Ford, ticker F. This is off the news that I just talked about earlier, the announcement of their new electric Ford F-150, which is positive news for them, and as well as analysts raising the price target on Ford up to $117 per share. So they're seeing some positivity. They were up a little bit earlier. They were up about 0.64% in pre-market. They're back down to flat right now, which I actually like. I feel like it's a better opportunity to buy in and see some gains today on that one. What's your pick looking like today, Bill?
You know what? I'm going to go with Kohl's. That's ticker KSS, Kilo Sam Sam. Now, the earnings are due out Thursday morning. This stock is priced for an 8% move when they release. You know, I looked at option volume yesterday, that 2.77 called put ratio. You know, that's positive. I mean, management is really doing a solid job of attracting new customers. You know, I found that in a brokerage report earlier this morning. Because they're expanding that concept of a store within a store. They're looking to bring on 850 Sephora's stores inside Kohl's department stores. I also noticed that in March, S&P upgraded their credit rating on the stock. That's a big deal. So I'm not buying into this right in the morning because there's going to be weakness and we all know it. But later today, you know, in the afternoon, I'm going to start going long Kohl's, ticker KSS, because that's when I'm really expecting a nice beat tomorrow morning. That's when the money is going to be made later this afternoon and tomorrow morning on Kohl's, ticker KSS.
Moving into what's hot off the press, talking about the news that's hitting the tape as we speak, that's going to be moving the stocks today. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So, Bill, seeing our newswire alerts and everything streaming in, which are the ones we should be letting traders know about?
Jacobs Engineering just got a new contract, I see. Ticker NABB, Nancy, Apple, Victor, Boy. They just got awarded a U.S. patent for a diagnosis treatment of viral infections.
Chipotle, ticker CMG, is teaming up with Aduro to introduce a new wellness platform called Strive.
I see Raytheon, that's ticker RTX. They're looking to do some work on the semiconductors technology with Global Foundries. You know, this is for 5G connectivity. Target, ticker TGT, they said that a lot of the revenue that they experienced was due to online growth.
NVIDIA, ticker NAVB, has received drug delivery vehicles patent from the USPTO. Kathy Wood's ARK Investment Active ETFs bought another 47,031 shares of Tesla, ticker TSLA, and also another 708,050 shares of DraftKings, ticker DKNG.
TJX, it's TJ Maxx. They just came out and said that they're going to be reducing the outstanding debt by an additional $2 billion.
Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
Love, ticker LUV, Southwest Airlines, and seeing operating revenue. It's likely to be improving in May and June, and they're slashing their cash burn rate. So that's a kind of a positive, but that's all I'm seeing today, Shane.
Same here. So that's going to do it for what's hot off the press. Traders, keep in mind you can receive the same breaking news that we do simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Lastly, moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Tuesday. I had Lowe's, ticker LOW. It opened at $194 and ran up over $195 after the open, then dropped back down to the $192 to $193 range until it closed at $192.75 for a 0.64% loss. So relatively flat. However, this was an earnings move, right? And we were expecting them to do well this morning when they announced, and they did. The company saw sales go above expectations, and same-store sales rose above expectations. The company provided an upbeat outlook, but still the stock took a hit, along with the 0.9% drop from the S&P 500 earlier this morning. So this was the right play, but a bad day. So how'd yours end up doing, Bill?
Well, I went with TJ Maxx. It's ticker TJX, Tom, John, X-ray. Stock opened up at 72.20 and quickly hit a high of 72.81. You know, that was shy of the 1%. And, you know, then along with the market, it just moved lower. So it was kind of a miss if you ask me. But yeah, it did trade, 80.88% higher at one point. But I wasn't pleased with TJX. They released earnings. They were better than they were last year. That was to be expected. A little shy of, I think, what the expectations were from the street, but not really pleased with the TJX yesterday.
Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk with Traders. You know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.